I became a member of the royal family for 43 minutes. How the hell does Max Fosh pull this off? I sat back and thought to myself, maybe he knows someone in the royal family, or he knows someone who knows someone and they allowed it for 43 minutes. I have no idea. If it's involving him like sneaking in, that'll be even crazier, but I'm very interested to see how Max Fosh pulled this one off. If you don't know, this is only my second reaction to Max Fosh. I have seen him in a lot of other YouTubers I watch videos, and I decided to branch out into his very own channel. We started with his most popular video about a week ago, and now we're here today watching another one. For YAPS today, I think it'll be interesting to talk about the different editing styles we see on YouTube. More specifically, I say this because Max is one of those people who I feel like has a very good editing style. His videos are really short and they're similar to the pacing of Mr. Beast, which I did talk about in my last video. But there's all these different editing styles. There's people who don't do a lot of cuts. There's people who use aesthetic type music. There's people who cut and use a lot of like memes and funny clips like the Sidemen in Among Us videos or Chris MD's team. I love the fact that all these different editing styles can lead to success and have an audience for it. Me personally, I really enjoy the like meme type of shit. So when I edit for myself, I love to edit in memes I think of that could fit well in that moment. And you guys definitely haven't gotten to see that as much because I react now, but previously when I did gaming content and other types of content, I definitely enjoyed using memes a lot more. Editing is such a cool process, and as someone who used to do it a lot more extensively, I think it's so fun, it's so interesting, and I think Max Fosh's team does a 10 out of 10 job, and that's why I really enjoyed his last video. And now it's time to see what the editors bring to the table in this video, as well as what, of course, Max himself brings. I can't wait. Let's go. Let's see how Max Fosh becomes a member of the royal family, just real quick.
If I found someone who could prove that they were part of the British royal family,
her son was James VI, whose son was Charles I,
and then married them,
You may now kiss the groom.
that would, by marriage, make me royalty.
I've also got a journalist from the Daily
If this man gets married to become a part of the royal family, I'm dead.
Mail who'd want to write a story about the whole thing.
And as a royal, I would only want to do one thing before I got a quick divorce. Give my favourite kebab van
Hi man, how are you doing?
the royal seal of approval.
So, are you serious? Absolutely serious.
But there was one thing that I hadn't taken into account.
Your marriage needs to have lasted at least 1 year. I actually cannot get a divorce.
Nah.
I need to find a member of the royal family who is willing to get married to me. Now, that is obviously quite a big job. There's also slim pickings of single royals. The Queen.
Oh, really?
The only other single royal is Prince Andrew.
No, it was a shooting weekend.
I've got a huge royal family tree up in front of me from 849 to the present. The British royal family is essentially made up of loads of different families. Wessex, there was the Plantagenets, the Lancasters, the Yorks, the Tudors, the Stuarts. These are all different families who were at one point kings and queens in England. It's just currently the Windsor family tree. So if I can find someone who's direct descendant from one of those families, they are a member of the royal family. I just need to marry one of their descendants. Then I could legally call myself a member of the royal family.
If there was a YouTuber whose audience had connections to the royals, it would be mine.
And what's your name? Jasper.
The Fosh Pit. So I went onto Instagram to ask if anyone had a relation to a member of the royal family. And it didn't take long to get all sorts of attention.
So, that was rather fruitful. I've got a gentleman called Will, who says that he's directly descended from Mary, Queen of Scots, and James VI. James VI, he was the father of Charles I, but I won't bore you with the details.
I'm impressed that he's just taken this guy's word for it. He maybe looked into it more than he's showing, but like, I bet he gets so many messages from people being like, yeah, that's me, and most of them were probably cap. So I'm impressed that he just is like taking this guy's word for it.
And he says he's got the actual physical family tree. I then said, if you provide the proof, are you happy to marry me? And he said, yeah, go on then. I've also got a journalist from the Daily Mail who'd want to write a story about the whole thing. They just love anything related to the royal family.
So, with the proof in hand, it was time to meet my knight in shining armour.
Well, my potential husband. Lovely to meet you, mate. How are we?
Potential husband, dude.
First impressions were convincing as Will had bought the family tree in a Waitrose bag.
Yeah,
Is that the proof?
Yeah, that's
That is old enough.
And in that Waitrose bag was something incredibly valuable.
So, this is a book that's been in the family for how long?
Since 1798.
Oh my god.
These guys here, the High Stuarts are the Scottish royal family, the Kings and the Greens. And here she is, Mary, Queen of Scots.
Queen Mary was beheaded in England 8th of February 1586, which is true. And her son was James VI, whose son was Charles I.
Charles, yeah, he inherited the crown, but then James II got abducted during the Great Revolution. That's when we stop.
So if it wasn't for
shit.
Cromwell,
Yeah.
you would be...
I would be special, yeah.
You're already special to me, Will.
And I wanted to make this special man my husband, so I had one more question to
Kinda
ask.
romantic.
Will you marry me?
I accept.
Fantastic. Luckily, I'm so glad you said that because I have already arranged the marriage and the person who is going to marry us. And it's going to happen today.
Today, okay. Good.
Okay, we're getting it done.
No time like the present.
Now, to get married, you must do it on the grounds of an approved site that has a licence. So I got a qualified registrar to marry us whilst on the grounds of a local church.
Good morning, everybody. We're here today to witness the joining in marriage of Maximilian Arthur and William James. If any person here present knows of any legal reason why they should not be married, they should say so now. Our ceremony today, according to the civil law of this country, requires you both first to declare that you are legally free to marry, and then to state the contracting words that will...
I gotta be honest, this is going so far for a video, and I respect the shit out of it.
unite you together as husband and husband. Do you, Maximilian Arthur, take William James to be your wedded husband?
I do.
Do you, William James, take Maximilian Arthur to be your wedded husband?
I do.
It gives me great pleasure to declare that you are now husband and husband. Congratulations. You may now kiss the groom.
Yay! So cute. Yo.
I was a married man with blue blood coursing through my veins.
Would you like to sign the register?
Yes, I think I should sign that.
Now, I have to admit that the wedding was slapped together quite quickly, and so I hadn't organised anyone to join me to be a witness. So, I needed to find one, and fast.
I need a witness.
Looking at people
Excuse
on
me,
the road.
guys. Hiya. I'm technically getting married.
Excuse me, mate, I've just got married. Would you mind being a witness?
Would you be willing to be a witness?
No?
No worries. I've just got married. Thank you very much, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've got married to a member of the royal family.
No way.
Yes way. So will you be a witness? Well, it's
Why
literally
is
going to take
everyone
two
saying
seconds.
no?
What's your name?
Nina.
Nina, thank you so much.
Let's
Right,
go.
not.
To your show at the Camden Club.
Thank you very much for coming. A member of the
Okay.
Fosh Pit, come to all the live shows, now helping me get married. What a story. Thank you very much.
Don't worry.
Thank you so much for being a witness.
That's on your marriage.
Come here, my darling husband. Oh, it just
Darling
feels so
husband.
good. Right, royal procession time.
Wow. Rosemary.
Keen to follow as many royal traditions as possible, next up was the royal procession.
Was that them?
Also, as a royal, I wanted to have my own title, so please say hello to His Royal Highness Max Fosh, Prince of the Scilly Isles. That's actually a place in the UK, and I might have to move there because everything we do is silly to the max, so join the Fosh Pit and subscribe. I wanted to do one thing as a royal, and that was to give back to my favourite food truck in London, Sim Sim. They go
Sim Sim.
above and beyond for the Prince of the Scilly Isles normally by staying open past closing.
Hello, mate. You still open?
If somebody not you, I'm not gonna make it.
Giving free shawarma samples,
Ah, thank you.
Legends.
and generally being fantastic blokes.
My man.
Hi man, how are you doing?
I'm very well, man. How are you?
Oh, sorry man.
So, I want to give them the royal seal of approval. But what is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Right, I'm talking a lot about royal seals of approval. This is actually a thing in the UK. every product that has been bought by the royal family or is used in the royal household has this little logo on it. So Mayo's got that, this Marmite has got that, and it says, by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, basically says, this product is bought by the royal family. This French mustard doesn't have it because we remember what the French did to their royals. So by me being a member of the royal family, I can give Sim Sim the royal seal of approval.
That's cool.
Let's give away some lovely shawarmas.
So we arrived back at Sim Sim and I waited no time before giving my first royal address.
Ladies and gents, as Sim Sim is my favourite food truck in London, I've decided to celebrate that. So for the next 20 customers, get their wraps and shawarmas for free.
And the crowd went bananas.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
On special occasions, I know it's important that all royals do one thing. Mingle.
Have you ever had Sim Sim before?
I'm not. This is going to be
This is
my
your
first
first time?
I'll do a bite on camera.
Thank you so much. Wraps are free today. So
Are you serious?
Absolutely serious.
What a legend.
Big bite. I've married someone who's a member of the royal family, very technically, and so I'm giving Sim Sim the royal seal of approval.
That's so funny.
It's fantastic. One other happy customer for Sim Sim. You have chicken, lamb, halloumi. We've got everything here at the Royal Sim Sim.
Garlic sauce, chili sauce.
I was really hungry and really broke.
I'd like to announce that Sim Sim has the royal seal of approval. Sim Sim, my favourite Middle Eastern, and the scissors won't cut.
God.
If you've never had Sim Sim before, you're in for an absolute treat. The
Sim sells after this video.
seal of approval. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much to everyone.
With the event a roaring success, my husband and I sat down for a honeymoon shawarma and to discuss our divorce.
My darling husband. Cheers.
With
Dude,
my
this is
mission
crazy.
complete, I now had a slightly awkward question for Will.
Can we get a divorce? Section A, is it an undefended case or a defended case? Are you trying to get me for loads of money?
I mean, you're probably trying to get me for money.
Oh yeah, probably am actually.
We signed the divorce papers, and with that, our short but happy union
Wow.
was nearly over.
No shot.
Nice pen.
Thanks, mate.
The fact that he trusted this guy, because, like, yeah, when they're going through the divorce, if this guy wasn't a stand-up dude, which he seems to be, they could have, like, gone through, like, an intense divorce, and he could have given him shit. Like, the amount of trust Max had in this man's is crazy.
Nice seeing you. You've got food down your shirt, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Darling, you're always
Still in
nagging
love.
at me.
Now, this was supposed to be the end of the video, but upon arriving home, I discovered a slight issue with the divorce papers.
So, I've just come back up to the flat quickly just to go through the divorce papers again, and I've realised something that's quite important that I hadn't quite realised before. In order to be able to officially get a divorce, your marriage needs to have lasted at least 1 year. I actually cannot get a divorce. I need to be married to him for a year. I think we can get an annulment though. So annulling the marriage is slightly different. Basically annulling the marriage is when there has been no consummation of the marriage. Bear with me because I'm just panicking just a slight amount.
Wow.
Hello mate. I should say darling. I've just quickly had a look at the divorce papers and it says that we can't get a divorce unless we've been married for a year. But don't worry, I've got a different plan. We can get an annulment immediately, as long as you can agree that we didn't consummate the marriage.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is what they just take your word for it when you're like, yeah, we didn't consummate. They're just like, okay, cool, you're annulled.
So if I send you those papers, could you sign them and get them back to me?
Yeah, I'll do it when I get back home.
Thanks, mate.
No way.
Okay, cheers.
Alright, cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right, we're getting an annulment, and I think I've only been married for 43 minutes. Well, it's fun being royal.
That was so crazy. What? That was somehow easier than I thought it would be. I know he technically got married, which is the craziest part of it all. Let's talk about it. Hold on. It's so strange how these videos are like here and then they're gone because they're so quick, but the effort that he put in was like minimal yet so much because it felt like it wasn't like that hard to get married real quick, but at the same time he was willing to get truthfully married for this video to another man, which is like so much effort at the same time. Does that make sense? What's even funnier is the fact that he used it to do something that was like completely innocent, but helping out a small business that he really likes. So it's almost a little wholesome in a way, I guess. I feel like for him now it's so cool that he gets to casually just say like, yeah, I was in the royal family for like an hour one day. It's such a weird thing to commit to, and a very cool story that he'll get to tell for the rest of his life. I thought that this was pretty funny. I think that it was a really cool concept. I've never seen a video like this where someone went to that extent to get like a 10-minute video. So very cool. Editing was good per usual, and again, just kind of whipped by. So it definitely kept my attention and I enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more Max Fosh videos, let me know down below. Like this video and always subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any content, and I will see you guys on my next video.